Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Unstoppable Stories. I'm Sherry Danzig, and I'm delighted to introduce you to Jacquie Metzger, who's going to share her story. I want to simply start by saying that the reason I love these Unstoppable Stories so much is I don't know about you, but when I could see any kind of story. It could even be in a commercial where they're telling a little story about someone having a triumph over some sort of a challenge. It's something, some sort of an emotional challenge, or somebody telling you that you can't do something, or a real roadblock of sorts. And I think we all benefit so much. I oftentimes get chills or even cry. Sometimes I cry at commercials when I see these stories, because it speaks to that sense within us all that, yeah, we can do it. Stuff can be hard, you know, shit happens, and then we can still push through and do it anyhow. And I think we all benefit from hearing these stories. So that's the reason I keep doing this. And I am so excited to hear your story. So please share, Jacquie.
Well, thank you, Sherry, for inviting me. And I agree with you. I love hearing unstoppable stories where people have been triumphant over something, because I think a part of us is like, oh, well, if they can do it, then I can do it too.
Yes.
Um, Finding that strength. And, just thinking about some of the stories, I think a lot of us have overcome things often throughout our lives. And really, I think that one of the strongest stories, part of my life that comes to my mind is I had cancer. And I remember like feeling like there was something wrong in my body and going to the doctor and basically demanding that they take a biopsy. And it came back, oh, they're like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, I don't really believe you. So um and then we were in the military, so we moved a lot. So like we were stationed in Japan at this time, and then we moved shortly after, and I just felt like there was still something wrong. And I went to another doctor in South Carolina, and they're like, "That's a scar. There's nothing wrong with you," And it's like that internal part of you that is like, "I really think there's something wrong." And then we moved to the Azores, so three countries,
Yeah.
and me still being like, "There's something off."
Uh-huh.
Um, and I remember like I was walking down the stairs and I heard that internal voice saying, Jacquie, you have cancer, but everything's going to be okay.
Hmm.
And, ooh, didn't mean to get emotional. Um,
Okay.
and I will be forever grateful to the one Portuguese doctor that traveled around all the 9 islands in the Azores who just happened to have an opening for me. And he was able to diagnose my stage 2 melanoma at that point.
Hmm.
And then we immediately got sent back to the States so that I could receive care.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and I always think about that. It's like we know our bodies
Hmm. Hmm.
and our bodies talk to us.
Yeah. We have to
And
listen.
yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of us aren't taught to listen.
Yeah.
We discount that and we trust. I'm not against I'm not against doctors. I know the majority of them, their heart's in the right place and whatever circumstances and training and whatever the case may be, for whatever reason, I needed to go through that experience and be so firm in advocating for myself.
Hmm.
And oftentimes when people go through these great trials, it ends up being one of the best things that could ever happen to you.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so that shifted my life completely. That eventually led to what I do now. So, and I'm good. I've been cancer free for 12 years and oh my gosh, 13 years now. So I'm extremely grateful for that whole process and really trusting myself.
Hmm. Hmm. Thank you for sharing. Boy, there's such a deep, important message in what you just said about listening to that voice, that inner voice. There's an inner wisdom within us all. We have to train ourselves to listen, to know that there's something. that we know. We have, I mean, I think sometimes it's important to be able to process and talk to somebody else, maybe somebody that has a different expertise, and still we know the truth about ourselves, and so, um, good for you. I mean, that's an unstoppable story that probably saved your life,
Absolutely.
and,
Yeah,
yeah, literally. Sometimes it
literally.
can be more figuratively
Right.
saving your life. This was
Yeah.
a literal one, so wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And too, like you said, like, it shifted myself emotionally too, greater
Mhm,
confidence. And then that
mhm,
led me into a deeper path of more holistic
mhm,
healing.
mhm.
So I think it saved me not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all the things.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I love how you said that, how you, eh, got that message. You have cancer and you're gonna be just fine. You knew that piece as well. So,
Yeah.
powerful story. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. I'm gonna have, you'll see Jackie's information if you wanna connect with her directly. You'll see that in the notes along with this video. So thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.